It's Myra here from Mind Body Soul UK, and I'm here today with the Abundant Ones team. Would you like to introduce yourselves?
Chance, you right now?
Kanika in the building. It's Diane with her son, Jamari. You want to say your name?
Say hello.
My name is Jamari.
My name's Jamari.
And today the topic we're going to be discussing is growing up in the hood. So we're going to start with you, Chance, as usual. So what effects do you think there are growing up in the hood, good and bad?
Well, since we're always used to the bad, I might start with the good, innit? I'd say growing up in the hood teaches you about unconditional love. It teaches you how to be street smart, and being street smart actually works in your benefit in many different scenarios. But yeah, what's another good one? Just, in some cases you learn how to be militant, somewhat way. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Having to dodge the police and all of that nonsense that kids do when they're younger and that. But at the same time, it's kind of like training. And the bad things is lack of proper education.
Okay.
Poverty.
Pardon me.
And selfishness, like disunity.
Yeah. What about you, Kanika? What do you think?
Yeah, I think the same thing really. Obviously, it's a case where obviously growing up in the hood, you don't, you're not exposed to certain things, and then sometimes on the negative side, you are exposed to more than you should. Do you know what I mean? So I think that was more for me. What you wish that you'd be more exposed to, the stuff that you should kind of know growing up, as opposed of the road stuff and everything else. But yeah, it's bittersweet, really. I feel like, do you know what I mean?
Yeah, I agree with that. What about you?
Burping child over here, everyone. I apologise.
I am the puppy.
Do you want to talk about the hood together? Yeah.
When I don't know what I'm doing sometimes. My mother helps me sometimes, and he always helps me sometimes. And or sometimes it's good to play and not mess up and not have an accident.
Can mummy give her answer as well, please?
No.
Yeah?
But first, yeah.
Alright,
But
perfect. Is that alright?
yeah, but first I need to do one more answer.
Okay.
And
one more
do
answer.
this, yeah. Then, dig.
Okay.
Now we just gonna do it.
Thank you. I love your answer.
I need
Okay,
I need
well,
to do
that's all right,
another
baby.
one in a minute.
Okay. I'll wait for you to do it in a minute, yeah? But I'm going to do mine now. Is that okay?
Sorry, 2 seconds.
Yeah.
There's not another mic. There's only 4 mics. Unless you want to share a mic with someone.
And a
So I'm going to have to...
Okay, so this one. For me, I think there's different depictions. When you're talking about the hood, it depends where you're from. Like for me, I know what the hood would be for me, but for other people, there's different depictions. Like in America, the hood is really different to the UK. So I think it's where you're coming from. Like a lot of people over here have found a lot of family in people they found on road. Where in America, I think it's almost like an alliance, like a clan. So there's like you said, there's a lot of positivity in it because you can find. It's like when you come out of like your own family that you're raised in, or whatever you do have, whether it's like foster home or blood or whatever, it's different when you go to the road. Do you know what I mean? It's different when you go to the hood. It's different because you figure out that you're like, rah, I can actually make a family
And a lot of people do actually want to benefit from that area. I think there's a lot of negative depictions from it as well. Like you hear hood, do you know what I mean? At first, the first thing is black. For me, do you know what I mean? The first thing is, the hood black. But that's not always it. The hood wasn't even created really and truthfully by us. We were put in there. Do you know what I mean? But that's the depiction of it. I think of, do you know what I mean? Us. I can't think of anything else. But hood is really almost like our ends, isn't it? Like what we now can call our own home, but something we've actually been given. Yeah, like this, like it's not really ours. Like it's hard for me to explain, but yeah, that's not my depiction.
Yeah. What about you, Mads?
I feel like it's not positive. Personally, is my experience. I feel like you're gonna find out that a lot of your friends aren't genuine, and then it's gonna teach you like what are you doing with your friends, and it's gonna hopefully after you've gotten out of it, you're on a better path, and you might be ahead of certain people like, that you even know. But I feel like it is, it's definitely a negative. I feel like if you can avoid it and you could grow up somewhere else, have a peace of common mind growing up, it will be better for you.
Yeah, do you think that's a lot to do with the influence?
Yeah.
What personal experiences have you had which have changed you as a person, Chance?
Mommy.
Which personal experiences?
In terms of like growing up in the hood.
As I said, didn't it?
You don't have to share if you feel a way about it.
That's cool. The hood is somewhere where I found unconditional love as well as my family and whatnot. And I learned it through situations that may have occurred and presented to me that people can switch up on you and not want the best for you and you know, all these things. So you kind of just notice like the hood is a place where a lot of low vibrational frequencies reside. Yeah. You know, somewhere where low vibrational frequencies reside in a lot of people. Like, the minute you see a bit of light in your life, you start noticing how people don't see it the same way as you do.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And that's when you learn a lot.
Yeah.
Always feeling like the outcast and stuff like that. You know, the hood was a place where a lot of negativity resided, so it was easier to just relate on some negative, you know, stuff than on positive things.
Yeah.
Times when I wanted to be positive, I felt like sometimes I had to put it to the side because I needed to present a different side to me and stuff.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Yeah. So, yeah, man.
What about you, Kanika?
Growing up for me, from when I was young, I feel like I was kind of misunderstood, to be honest. And I don't know whether it was because it was in that, not hoodie schools, but from like when I was young, I went to 3 different primary schools, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And it was just because I felt like just being misunderstood, do you know what I mean? And again, it's kind of a case where you're not a hyper child, you're not bad, you're just, again, misunderstood, do you know what I mean? So
yeah,
I think
because of the environment and stuff.
Yeah, do you know what I mean? Again, we're not really getting taught what we should be taught as well, so that doesn't help. Because you can't treat every child the same. It's impossible.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? And
true.
so, yeah, it's just that understanding. Why are you like this? Why do you do that? Why do you act like that? And a lot of people don't have time for that. That's what kind of, you know, because we can still be in the hood and just have someone that actually is right for us.
Yeah.
But if they're not there, then, do you know what I mean?
Yeah, 100%.
So I don't know if I've answered that too well.
Yeah. What about you, Stajian?
I'm going to have to ask the actual question again. So I need to...
What personal experiences have changed you as a person growing up in the hood?
Okay, so that's going to change from what I first spoke about, because for me and my experience is very different, because similar to you, I didn't feel like I kind of had a fit in place. Like, it wasn't on the street, it wasn't with a bunch of people. So I kind of had a funny kind of isolated version of what the hood actually is.
Yeah.
So
yeah.
growing up, I learned actually a lot more about my environment
Yeah.
and how it affected the people around me and why they acted, how they acted, or whatever. Growing
Yeah.
up, but I was very clued up about it because of like the absence of my own father and knowing things about what he's doing and has done. But for me, I didn't understand it completely. So there wasn't judgment towards it. It was just my experience was like, okay, I don't really get it. I don't really
Yeah.
understand what's going on. Like, why is it such a hype? Like, I'm almost seeing it like you're doing it on purpose. But for me, a lot of people have actually pushed themselves in that position, if you see where I'm coming from, and want to follow suit for a lot of people that actually have no choice. Do you know what I mean? But yeah, that's
Yeah.
I'm still I'll be real, I'm still learning. There's
Yeah.
so much that I don't know about in my own area.
Okay.
Yeah.
So you learnt a lot through like observing and stuff.
Literally.
Yeah. What about you, Mads?
I feel like you learn like birds of a feather flock together. Like, you're keeping around you, what you're doing with them, and then you're gonna learn a lot about yourself when you look at the people that you're around.
Yeah.
So I feel
So
like
true.
that's something, but not a lot of people that are still in that environment or mindset are gonna think like that. They're not gonna use the people around them to see what they're doing with their everyday life.
Yeah.
So
100%. Love that. Love that. What 3 words would you use to describe your experience?
My experience. Well, like,
Growing up in the hood. If you had to choose 3 words.
Unfair,
Ooh.
but enlightenment.
Enlightened. Yeah.
And pure.
Okay.
Because I feel like even in situations where I've been dealt a bad hand and that, there's always something great for me to learn from it.
Yeah.
So it always like sets me straight, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
Hence why like the last episode I said something about chaos.
Yeah.
There
Yeah.
has to be chaos before this peace, you know what I'm saying? Like, because you don't understand the value of peace until you kind of experience the chaos.
Yeah. There's a balance of
You know
everything
what
in
I'm saying?
life as well.
So it's that.
Yeah. I hear that. What about you, Kanika?
For me, wow. It would have to be
You.
elevation. For me,
Elevation.
empowerment, and what's the last one? What would I say? Probably enlightenment again, because I feel like you need that to move on. Do you know what I mean? So
Yeah.
definitely, those would be my 3 words.
Okay.
Yeah.
What about you, Stajian?
Them ones. I was there thinking for a while. So I was like,
And I am
do you have
that.
one? Do you have one for me, son?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I am that. Again.
About the hood. You have 3 words about the hood.
And I know what goes up. Always good.
I love that.
Giants. Eat all your baby's best.
Oh no. Well, we're talking riding hood there, baby. But I love that. I love that. I think aberrational, maybe.
Baby,
Okay.
that is sad. And baby was thoughts. Zodiac was sitting in the 3 best bed.
Unity, because that is one, to be fair.
Yeah.
And I'll probably just go with courageous. That's what I can think of, because it does take a lot of courage to have your backbone out there.
Okay. Nice. What about you, Mads?
I haven't even got any.
Nothing at all? Okay. Do you think things are getting better or worse in terms of things in the hood?
In the maddest way, I hope this answer makes sense. I think it's getting better, but then I also think it's getting worse. You know what I'm saying? Because it's like the awareness that we had as kids and stuff like that growing up. It's nothing compared to the awareness that they have now. But then the senseless things that they're willing to do now,
Yeah.
we wasn't willing to really do
The
then.
access to things,
Yeah.
less discipline.
So it's better
that
but
kind of
worse.
stuff. Yeah, that
You know
makes
what I'm
sense.
saying? Yeah, so literally that's the way I see it.
Yeah. What about you, Kanika?
Boy, same really. I think it's got better, but it's still got worse.
Yeah.
Because for me now, I've obviously grown up and I now have children that is in next generation. And I see how a lot of teachers are dealing with this next generation.
Yeah.
And a lot of teachers are my age. Do you know what I mean? And it's a case where they've just got no energy for the kids at all. Do you know what I mean? Less than what we had to deal with back then. Your foot teacher saying, well, don't worry, I'm just going to get paid, regardless whether you learn now. They're not even, they just don't care. They just throw you out in one class. Do you know what I mean? So I think it's same time got better, you'd think, in certain angles where, the children are more woke, because I let my children be more woke. Do you feel me? With everything, like they're aware. I try to not, give them too much, but at the same time you need to, open their minds.
Yeah.
And so I think that part, it's helpful to their upbringing, but at the same time, I think the generation is just getting a bit more less, I like the old school way, put it that way. And I think there's a lot of things that need that old school, and it's not there. So yeah, it's definitely a bit of both for me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I agree with that. What about you, Stajian?
I was having a conversation relating to this a little bit yesterday, where I said to someone that I think if there were more youth clubs, we'd have less social workers. And that's not just to do with, like, obviously a lot of rappers have said more youth clubs, less prisons, but the workers, like, in unity, the hood moves, do you know what I mean, together. And obviously, like social workers, they know specific things, but they know where people, like, 3 people out of it. There may be 3 targets. They're running things, do you know what I mean? They look bad, whatever. But we don't know the ins and outs.
Yeah.
Like the feds, we'll talk about, do you know what I mean? They know everything, supposedly. As you said, teachers don't really know much, and it's quite hard, because, do you know what I mean, all you really want to do is just teach in a day. People coming in talking about skang, all of that. You're like, yeah, you know what? Yeah. It was like, it's all right. And a lot of us nowadays are misinformed. Like, you're going to get certain points, or, do you know what I mean? It's for me, I wouldn't say it's got better or worse. I think it's just evolving the way it's evolving. Like, we've been taught what we've been taught, so we're going to follow suit with anything, with fashion, with anything. The hood itself, just evolving, but not obviously positively, because it's been a while since it's been truly positive. Do you know what I mean? Truly positive. I think it's different when you say my ends to the hood. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Very big difference in that as well.
I think more opportunities are needed as well for people, especially the younger generation.
Yeah, most definitely.
What about you, Mads?
What was the question?
In terms of, do you think it's getting better or worse?
I feel like it's becoming more artificial.
Mm.
The world nowadays, you got phones, you got screens and stuff, and people are trying to live up to other people's expectations because of what they're seeing on a TV screen or their
Yeah.
iPhone. And I feel like there's no point in doing that. You're not really gonna get too far. Like, you're just trying to prove to someone else that you're something that you're not.
Yeah.
So that's what's going on now. And I feel like people are building themselves up into something that they're not.
Yeah, I agree with that. Everything should have a purpose. Do you think that the rap and drill scene have an influence on people?
Nah. I believe it adds to it. It adds to the nonsense that's already out there, innit? Because we have this debate all the time. Like, I can understand that it can trigger some people, but to put the sole blame on that, you know, because you got movies, you know what I'm saying, that show you like explicit images of.
Do you think it has some influence then?
Yeah, you can say it has some influence, but it stems from something.
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying? Like, I just wouldn't point out and say that drill is the actual problem. I'll just be like, drill is expressing the problem, if that makes sense. Yeah.
Kanika, what about you?
For me, I feel like, I don't want to sound biased, guys, but I feel like it is, because when I was younger, I never heard none of this music. Now, again, having teenager children in the household that is hitting this drill business, and I'm listening to some of the lyrics, I'm like, wow. You know, obviously we was younger and we had Lauryn Hill and we had, you know what I mean, there's certain music that just fed our brains in a rightful way. Do you know what I mean? Yeah, or you had revival music that just made you, you know, feel a type of way, or, you know, whatever you had in your home. But I feel like we never had this. Now, because we have the energy input and the kids are naturally growing up angry, you have to bear this in mind. They're growing up angry because there's a lot of things aren't there for them. With the music there and everything they have to deal with, I feel like it is a reaction. It's a chemical reaction to the brain, is what I feel like. Do you know what I mean? Because you hear that type of music, it naturally puts a certain energy in your body. With whatever music you feel. I feel like, you know, if you're listening to maybe sad music, it makes you feel, do you know what I mean? Happy music, you make you feel. You hear a certain type of beat, you're feeling a bit greasy. Do you know what I mean? And you, whatever you're going through, and then obviously how you react to that can be a different story. Now, it's not the case for everyone, because there is drill music out there that actually is positive music. And that I can deal with, because I'm not going to say I don't, you know, a few songs I'm not, you know, to, but, you know, I'm not going to be fake about it. But, do you know what I mean? As long as it's positive movements, and again, that's how, as an artist, you know, being TAW, like, I'm about that, like, positive energy from us, do you know what I mean? And for me as well, within my lyrics, like, it's a must, because I feel like these kids are listening to it, and I just want to feed them with good stuff, you know, rather than what they already know, because they go on road and they already see it, so we don't need to listen to it, you know. But yeah, that's me.
Love that. So true. What about you, Stadio?
Please, can I get like the whole question again? I hear the gist of it, but like, you know, when you actually hear the question properly.
Do you think the rap and drill scene have an influence on people?
I feel like ZZ Mills right now. I'm just like, oh. All right, guys. Well, for me, personally, I think it's all about how, once again, you're raised. And I'm not saying, obviously, you're not going to go out there and you're not going to hear this song. But as you said, I was raised off Lauryn Hill and these things. Now, if I was raised off all grime, I love Chipmunk. Like, when I say I love these artists that are like, you mentioned him earlier as well, Wiley. Like, these artists are old school OGs for a reason, because they kept respect. Do you know what I mean? And they made sure that when they're speaking about these things, they're not glorifying it. That's what I think the problem is, the glorification of drill, not drill itself. As you said, like, everything evolves. Like country music, it wasn't always like, I'm not going to throw it out to everyone, but there is a lot of incest talked in country music. There's a lot of devil worship talked in rock, but I'm saying that's not everything about it. As you said, there's, for me right now, everyone's on this next level with drill. Like, there's no other sound. Like, it's just like everyone wants to sound like Dutch, or everyone wants to sound like this
everyone
one.
Wants to sound the same.
Yeah, but they're not thinking about, oh, raw, what is my actual story? Like, man's like, I just got a bust down, like, getting just angry, and it's like, bro, like, when you sit down with most of them, they're like, no, I'm not even angry, I'm fine, you know, it's fine. And it's like, no, but it's like, for me, it's like what you were touching on, actually. It's like, I don't know if you didn't say commercialized, but kind of like that. Like, it's very, I can only listen to so much now that it's driving me insane, but I feel like that's the expression that a lot of young males have. Do you know what I mean? That's not me, but there are a lot of female artists as well that feel alike, but I can see them, once again, pushing themselves to be on that wave. The sound of it itself is, I think, of expression to violence on road. And it just sounds a mess to people that don't really understand what the culture of it is. So it can inspire you in a complete wrong way if you don't know what it's trying to expressed to you. Do you know what I mean? You can listen to it and you're like, right, yeah, you know what? I'm just gonna go on road and just start skenging off my friends for no reason.
Yeah.
But really and truthfully, if you know what it's about, you'll know, rah, this one doesn't really want to live this life, or this one's caught up, or you don't hear that. Just say boom, boom, like the sound of it, as you said, just goes through you. So I think it can be very, you know, very influential. But I don't know if it's like the reason. Do you know what I mean? The cause, or what's really gonna.
Yeah.
Damn.
What about you, Mads? I'm intrigued
I
to see
feel
what
like-
you guys say still.
I feel like everyone broke it down well enough. Like, I don't really need to make any points, but I feel like it is an influencer. And whatever you're doing, whatever you're allowed to take up time,
Yeah.
it's gonna affect you. So you're gonna learn from it.
Yeah.
That's just how your mind works.
It's true. It's true. I agree with that. What things do you think can be put in place for like a better community?
Everything really.
Mm-hmm.
Sports centers, music centers, production centers, just things that are a bit more specific
Yeah.
and not just a one little place where they can come and pick up a 1-2 leaflet.
Mm.
You know what I'm saying? Like, we need some actual mentors, like that would sit there and assess a child and a person to see what they actually want to do in life and what they, what skills they have, what they need to brush up on or whatever, and actually have somewhere to send them. Yeah. So I feel like just need more establishments. That's probably the best way to put it.
Yeah.
As a community.
Kanika, what things do you think can be put in place for a better community?
For me, again, going back to the whole teacher things, just teachers that care. Do you know what I mean? We need to have more mentors that care, because I remember I had this specific mentor in school and actually see him pop up on ITV the other day, and he's now a head teacher to a primary school. And he's a
Okay.
black man, and that actually warmed my heart because he was the only one that actually cared about, I feel like, me and my peers
Oh.
in my secondary school. Do you know what I mean? So that type
Yeah.
of energy, like, we need more of those people. Do you know what I mean? Like, because I don't feel we have them. We don't have them at all. More, obviously, adventure playgrounds and stuff. I know when I was younger, I went to a lot of, adventure playgrounds. We had that. And our mums didn't have to pay £20 a day. And do you get what I'm saying? So I don't know where this, again, funding is just going to the wrong places. Like, the children
Yeah.
are the future. Do you know what I mean? So a lot of funding needs to go, because a lot of parents can't afford this £20 a day. It's ridiculous.
Yeah.
All of them things as well. So, yeah, and just what Chancey said, putting certain things in place for them, because they leave the house and where do they want to go? On road to do, there's just nothing there for them. Do you know what I
Yeah.
mean? So, yeah, it definitely would help,
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Love
my
that.
thoughts
Love
are.
that. What about you?
I'm probably just gonna go off my own experience, because like you're kind of on. Me, I know that music, obviously, even now was and is a big help. Now I've noticed that there's a bit of a tactic when you're going through education, where they want you to kind of go through school and then go to college for these benefits like studio time and that kind of stuff. A lot of children can't afford the equipment and the tools that they're given when they get to an age where they're almost lost as well. Like, they're told, you must be an adult now. You must do this now,
Yeah.
And you're not ready.
Growing up too fast.
And
yeah.
you're using the wrong tools, the wrong equipment. I think a life coach, that kind of thing, like I just said, mentors, teachers, people that kind of understand that, need to come in so much more early. Because sometimes there's kids that are doing that for their parents or for their family members, and they don't even know that in themselves, and they're stuck.
Well, some
And they-
people don't even have that guidance at all.
literally. So like, as you said, the safe place can actually be the school. Like, I don't want to talk too personally, but I do know a couple people, do you know what I mean, older than me, who have looked after me and said, listen, I was happy to go to school. Do you know what I mean? My home life was not the one. And with that, if you know that all there is to kind of look forward to is like unnutritional food, but you don't think about it when you're young, obviously, but do you know what I mean? Unnutritional food, tutu playground, pip and squeak, then you get to this age and you're not out of that routine. Do you know what I mean? Not a lot of people want to push themselves through that. Do you know what I mean? So some people end up in prison, like we're talking in the hood. Some people end up just feeling lost. So I think just way more tools, like literally what you two are talking about, exactly that. Just mentors, people to actually explain it to us, not just at the end when it's like, all right, you lot need to go now. Now we'll give you that. Just more tools, I guess. Just more like booths, youth clubs.
Yeah.
Like you were saying, everything, to be fair. Just
Establishment.
yeah, like just more of it with less of an actual price. Not like, I don't mean money wise, but I'm saying like that you got to pay for it. Do you know what I mean? Whether it's your spirit or something.
Yeah, I agree with that. I think a lot more community centres, a lot more guidance from, you know, the older generation. And I think it starts at home as well. Do you know what I mean? Like people actually guiding their daughters and sons and stuff. But yeah, I think a lot more opportunities there needs to be overall. But yeah, thank you guys. That's it for today.
Thanks for having us.
Shout out to the abundant ones.
Come on, we appreciate.
Watch out for them.
Every time.
Look out for the new music that's coming soon from us.
Yes.
London.
Queen Mix coming soon.
Coming soon.
Yes.
They're not ready
We
for
out
that
here.
one, man.
Make sure you check them out, guys.
Thank
Right.
you.
Yeah,
Thank you
man.
for that. That was lovely.
We appreciate it.